Hi there, and welcome to this Bridge Brothers video, where for once it's not a Saturday in Thornton Heath, it's a Friday in Thornton Heath, and it's in fact May Day. And while this may be a day traditionally reserved for rioting, today instead it is just kicking off at the Mayfield, where we have the Isthmian South East playoff final between AFC Croydon and AFC Whyteleafe. Now, this is also a Croydon derby, so really well attended with over 1,200 people. I've never seen the Mayfield so packed, and it is a shame that the backup outdoor bar we hired broke down because the queues for pints was ridiculous. Now, I would say the first half really did feel, despite what the footage may show, really did feel like it was mostly Whyteleafe's. And the only kind of real moment in the game, and it was an absolute shame that the linos and the refs didn't really spot it because it would have changed the entire dynamic of the game very early on in, as we'll show in about 20 seconds. We did head the ball into the goal. Great bit of play, build up, whipping the ball in, got the header in. And while the keeper did get a hand to it and did push it out, he was well behind the line when he did this. And we do have lots of photos and videos to show this, but all too late now. And thusly, it goes into the end of the first half 0-0. And, well, as you can see, a little brief footage. Stormzy, one of the owners, showed up for this. So it was good to see, the boss in the bar. But then the second half went underway, and the second half felt all Croydon. Just every moment we were pushing, we were the more aggressive. But we just, as the story has been so often this season, just not finishing things. There was plenty of opportunities for us to really drive this game home in that second half, and we really didn't. And then Helg Oram, I believe I'm pronouncing the name right. Apologies if not. Actually, absolute banger, and just on the edge of the box, just half volley, whipped it in. No one saw it coming, completely against the run of play, and that really, really did affect things after that. And yeah, I mean, despite that, Croydon did keep pushing, but again, nothing really coming of anything until in the 87th minute, for what I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but we seem to have a pen. Initially, I think Harvey went to take it, and the keeper made a great save on it, to be fair. But then it turned out, as a recurring theme for the evening, keeper's off his line. So instead, Daniel Cadell came up and absolutely just smashed it in, no problem. One apiece, and we are going into extra time. Excuse me. 3 minutes. And so the first half of extra time went. And again, it felt this game was very 50-50. First half Whyteleafe, second half Croydon. And then the first half of extra time really did feel like it was all Whyteleafe, and we were kind of lucky to come out of it without conceding anything else, really. The pressure was piling and piling and piling, and, that was a very stressful 15 minutes. But going into the second half of added time, again, just the frustration in this. I mean, the clips showed, and I mean, I have loads more footage that I did, because otherwise this video would have been like 40 minutes long. I basically filmed a third of the game. But we just weren't finishing. I don't know whether it was tired legs for, in the Isthmian League, there's not a lot of added time, so the team weren't just up for that length of a battle. But it just is a recurring issue with this, like just not taking our chances, not being brave with shots, always wanting that extra touch or that perfect setup. And yeah, it did not go to plan in the slightest in that respect. So then extra time is concluded. Yeah. And both sets of fans getting a bit tired, getting a bit stressy. We're going on to about 10 o'clock in the evening, I think, at this point, and then we call penalties, and that's obviously a thing nobody really wants. And also, it was really not reassuring that one of the OGs of the club came up to me and said, "I've never seen us win a penalty shootout." Just filled you with joy. But things seem to start fairly promisingly. We opened up strong, getting the first one in. And as you can see, then the follow up for Whyteleafe's first straight onto the post, advantage Croydon. Then things just went downhill. So we got the next one in, and thankfully that was all wonderful. Their keeper was addressed once in again in this shootout for being off his line at the start of the penalty, and he did it every single time basically. And they just called on it once, and really, again, poor officiating. But what do we expect out of the Isthmian League, in all honesty? So we keep going, and I would say, I mean, Amadou looked very tired on these saves. He was always kind of very low when he was picking a side. Whatever direction he went, it was always towards the ground. And Whyteleafe were firing high up, and as long as they were on target, it seemed destined to go in. Where for us, a couple of good saves from Whyteleafe. Well, I'd say good saves, but again, every time off his line, I will die on that hill. Just wasn't to be. Sadly, just wasn't to be. But for the evening, we had a good time, I would say, in the most. I think it did get a bit rowdy towards the end, but it was a far more pleasant experience than the semi-finals. I mean, the Whyteleafe guys are a lot more pleasant to deal with than the Sittingbourne fans. So we'll take that. And at least the Croydon team has gone up a step. Although Whyteleafe now having to play in Cray, I believe. Cray Valley, no longer a Croydon team, so at least we get to still keep our stadium. But yeah, overall, a disappointing night, but it's been a fun season, and we go again next time. Now, as always, if you enjoy the videos, if you like what we're doing, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Blue Sky, we're on all the things. Bridge Brothers on everything, and we have an FPL podcast and a General Chelsea podcast. So if you like what we do, check out our other channels. And thanks for your time.